Welcome to our new video, The Ultimate Coin Showdown. In this video, we're diving deep into 6 of the most talked about coins in the world of collectors. From rare vintage pieces to modern-day mysteries, these coins have sparked curiosity, excitement, and even wild claims of being worth thousands or millions of dollars. But which ones truly hold value? Which are just overhyped? We'll reveal their real history, unique features, and most importantly, their actual worth in today's market. So before you buy, sell, or stash away that coin, watch till the end to see which of these 6 coins stands out as the real treasure. Let the coin battle begin. The first coin among 6 we are going to discuss is a coin that often sparks curiosity and excitement, the 1960 British One Shilling. Some people claim it could be worth a lot more than you'd expect. But before we reveal its actual value, let's dive into the story behind this historic piece. Because trust me, the real worth of this coin might surprise you. At first glance, it might seem like just another old British coin, but it holds layers of royal symbolism, post-war history, and collector interest. On the front side, you'll see a beautifully detailed portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, as she appeared early in her reign. Surrounding her is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. This isn't just a title, it's a connection to centuries of royal tradition and honor. Now flip it over, and things get even more interesting. The reverse side shows a crowned shield bearing the famous 3 Lions of England, a design rooted in medieval heraldry. The words, 1 shilling, are clearly inscribed beneath it, and the date 1960 is split on either side of the shield. Above it all, the phrase, FID Def, short for Fidei Defensor, means Defender of the Faith, another royal title passed down for generations. This coin was in circulation during a time of great change in Britain, a post-war society that was modernizing quickly. And the 1 shilling coin was a core part of daily life, used in everything from buying bread to train tickets. At the time, it was 1/20th of a British pound, and held real purchasing power. But let's come back to the question everyone's asking. Is it worth anything today? There are plenty of rumors online claiming this coin could fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But here's the honest truth. The 1961 shilling coin is not considered rare. It was minted in large quantities and is made of cupronickel, not silver, unlike earlier British coins minted before 1947. In most cases, if your coin is circulated, it's worth around $1 to $5. However, if you have a mint state or uncirculated version, with no scratches and strong detail, you might see a value closer to $10 to $30. And if, by luck, you find an error version, such as a misstrike or a design flaw, then yes, collectors may offer much more depending on the rarity of the error. So, is it a coin that will make you rich? Probably not. But it's definitely a coin that brings richness in history, royal charm, and cultural importance. It's a timeless collector's item that connects you directly to the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II, now a part of world history. So while its market value may be modest, its place in history is absolutely priceless. Let's now move on to our next coin in the 6-coin comparison, and see how it stacks up in value and legacy. Could it beat the shilling? Let's find out. Let's move to our second coin, the 1971 British 2 Pence. It may look simple, coppery, and ordinary. But what if I told you some people believe it could be worth a small fortune? Well, we'll reveal its actual value shortly, and trust me, the truth might surprise you. At first glance, this coin doesn't scream rare or expensive, but its history is tied to one of the biggest changes in British currency, Decimal Day, which happened on February 15, 1971. That was the day the UK officially moved from pounds, shillings, and pence to the decimal system we know today. This coin is one of the first decimal coins ever minted, a true piece of numismatic transition. Now, let's break down the design. On the front side, or obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait was used on coins from 1968 through the mid-1980s, and it shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a gift she received before her coronation. Turn the coin over to the reverse, and you'll see the badge of the Prince of Wales, a symbol made up of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Below it is a ribbon with the motto, Ich diene, which is German for, I serve. This badge has been associated with the Prince of Wales for centuries and ties this coin directly to the monarchy. Above the design, you'll see the words New Pence, and below, the denomination 2. The term New Pence was used from 1971 to 1981 to distinguish these coins from the old pre-decimal pence. After 1981, they simply said 2 pence. Now, let's address the part you've been waiting for. Is this coin valuable? Many people online talk about rare versions of the 2p coin, especially from 1983, where New Pence was mistakenly used when it should have said 2 pence. But for the 1971 coin, millions were minted, over 1.5 billion to be exact. That makes it extremely common. If your coin is circulated, like most found in pocket change, it's worth just about its face value, 2 pence, or maybe $0.05. However, if it's in uncirculated or proof condition, with no signs of wear and original mint luster, it might be worth $1 to $3 to a collector, mainly for historical interest rather than rarity. That being said, some error versions or coins with odd toning, die cracks, or striking mistakes can sell for more, but those are very rare and must be professionally verified. So, the 1971 2 New Pence coin may not make you rich, but it holds an important place in British coin history. It was part of the country's bold leap into decimal currency, a massive shift that changed how people thought about money overnight. And for collectors, owning the first of anything, even something as small as a 2p coin, is always worth something more than just its price. It's a story. It's a marker of change. It's a link to the past. Now, as we continue through our 6-coin comparison, let's see what the next coin has to offer. Could it be the rarest of the bunch? Let's find out. Now for the third coin in our comparison, a sleek and modern piece from Southeast Asia that has caught the attention of collectors and travelers alike. It's the 2018 Malaysian 20-cent coin. And believe it or not, some people are claiming this simple-looking coin could be worth far more than its face value. Could that really be true? Stick around, its actual value might surprise you. At first glance, the 2018 20-cent coin looks like a standard modern circulation coin, small, shiny, and practical. But there's more to it than just metal and design. This coin is part of Malaysia's third series of coins, issued by Bank Negara Malaysia, and it reflects not only a modernized currency system but also a celebration of Malaysian identity, culture, and heritage. Let's look at the design. On the obverse side, or front, you'll find a beautiful and intricate design of the Destar Siga, a traditional woven headgear pattern used by the Kadazandusun community of Sabah. It's a wonderful nod to Malaysia's rich cultural diversity. Above the pattern, you'll see the words Bank Negara Malaysia, and at the bottom, the denomination 20 SEN, along with the year 2018. Now flip the coin to the reverse, and you'll see the denomination in large bold numerals, 20, as well as a pattern of 14 dots, symbolizing Malaysia's 13 states and federal territories. The clean, modern design with cultural motifs was introduced to help strengthen national identity through everyday currency. This coin is minted in nickel-plated steel, making it lighter and more cost-efficient than older versions. It has a reeded edge, and despite its small size, it carries strong symbolic value. But now, the question you've all been waiting for: how much is the 2018 Malaysian 20-cent coin really worth? In everyday use, this coin is worth exactly 0.20 Malaysian ringgit, which is less than $0.05. It's a very common coin in circulation today, and millions were minted for daily transactions, making it far from rare. However, if you have a brilliant uncirculated or proof version of the 20-cent coin, it may fetch more, typically between $1 and $5 if sold to collectors, especially those who collect complete modern Malaysian coin sets. Now here's where it gets a little more exciting: error coins. Some rare 20-cent coins, even from 2018, may have misaligned strikes, missing letters, double dies, or other minting errors. These can push the price up significantly, sometimes $10, $20, or even $50 depending on the rarity and condition. But keep in mind, for a normal 2018 coin with no errors and some wear, the value remains close to face value. So, while this coin won't turn you into a millionaire, it does represent something valuable: a celebration of Malaysian culture, modern minting, and national pride. It's the kind of coin that deserves a place in any Southeast Asian or world coin collection. Now, let's move on to the fourth coin in our video. Will it beat this one in rarity or value? Stay tuned, the next coin might just surprise you. Now let's shift our focus to the fourth coin in our comparison, A British coin that once held real spending power, is full of royal symbolism, and still sparks curiosity among collectors today. It's the 1966 British 2 shillings coin, often known as a florin. Its design is almost same to 1 shillings coin discussed already. And yes, you might have heard rumors that this coin could be worth a lot of money. But is that true? We'll reveal the real value shortly, so keep watching. First, some background. The 2 shillings coin had been in circulation since the 1800s, but by 1966, it was reaching the final years of its life, just before Britain officially adopted decimal currency. This coin was part of the pre-decimal system, where 20 shillings made 1 pound, and each 2 shillings coin equaled 1/10 of a pound. Let's explore its design. On the front side, or obverse, we once again see Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This portrait is by Mary Gillick, and it was the first official image of the Queen used on British coins after her coronation in 1953. It's a young, graceful image of the monarch, with the inscription, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina F.D., meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Now flip the coin to its reverse side, and the design becomes even more impressive. You'll see a large Tudor rose at the center, the national flower of England, symbolizing unity and strength. Surrounding it are shamrocks, thistles, and leeks, representing Ireland, Scotland, and Wales respectively. It's a full floral tribute to the United Kingdom. Around the edge, the coin reads, FID Def, 2 shillings, 1966. Again, FID Def means Fidei Defensor, or Defender of the Faith. But what about value? The 1966 2 shillings coin is often believed to be rare, but in truth, it was produced in very large numbers. Over 111 million coins were struck that year. Also, by 1966, the coin was no longer made of silver. Like others from 1947 onwards, it was composed of cupronickel, a copper-nickel alloy. In circulated condition, this coin typically sells for around $1 to $3. If you find one in uncirculated or mint condition, especially with sharp edges and a shiny surface, it might be worth a little more, around $5 to $10. However, errors, such as off-center strikes or missing letters, can raise the price significantly, sometimes to $30 or more, but these are rare. Even if it's not a treasure chest find, the 1966 2 shillings coin holds real historical charm. It represents the final chapter of pre-decimal British currency. Just a few years later, in 1971, the entire system would be replaced, and coins like this would disappear from everyday use, making them a great collectible for anyone interested in the UK's rich numismatic past. So while its price might not be jaw-dropping, its design, symbolism, and place in history are absolutely worth appreciating. Now, we're heading into the final stretch. Let's take a look at the 5th coin in our 6-coin comparison. Could it be the rarest? Let's find out together. Now let's turn to the 5th coin in our comparison, a small, sharp-edged piece that many people overlook, until they hear about rare ones being worth a fortune. We're talking about the 1990 British 20p coin. Could this tiny coin from 1990 actually hold big value today? Well, the truth might surprise you, and we're about to reveal it. The 20p coin may seem ordinary, but it actually holds an important place in the UK's modern coin history. It was first introduced in 1982, making it one of the newer decimal coins. The 1990 version belongs to the early years of this denomination, and while millions were minted, some collectors still look for it because of design consistency, condition, and potential minting errors. Let's look at the design. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right. This specific portrait was done by Raphael Maklauf, and it was used from 1985 to 1997. The Queen is shown wearing the George IV state diadem, and the engraving around the portrait reads, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1990, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Turn the coin over to the reverse, and you'll see the crowned Tudor rose, a powerful national symbol of England. The rose is encircled by the inscription, 20p, and just below the flower, in small digits, is the denomination 20. One of the things that makes this coin unique is its shape. It has 7 curved sides, technically called an equilateral curve heptagon. This gives it a distinct feel in your hand and helps visually impaired users distinguish it from other coins. Now, let's talk about value, the part you've been waiting for. The 1990 20p coin is considered a standard issue, meaning it's not rare under normal circumstances. It was minted in high quantities for everyday circulation, and it's made from copper nickel, not silver or any precious metal. In circulated condition, its value is around 20 pence to 50 pence, or 25 cents to 75 cents USD. Not much, right? But here's where things get interesting. If you find a brilliant uncirculated or proof version of the 1990 20p coin, for example, one that came from a collector's set and was never used, it could be worth a bit more. Prices range from $1 to $5, depending on the market. But here's the real jackpot: minting errors. There are stories of 20p coins with missing dates, misaligned edges, or mistruck lettering. While most of these errors are from later years like 2008, collectors still search for any 20p coin with odd features. A genuine error coin, even from 1990, could sell for $20, $50, or even more, depending on the rarity and demand. But of course, those must be authenticated and verified. So while the average 1990 British 20p coin won't make you rich, it's still a fun and valuable piece of modern coinage, with royal imagery, clever design, and potential surprises for those with sharp eyes and a little luck. Now, we've come a long way, 5 coins down, and just one more to go. Could our final coin be the rarest or most valuable of them all? Let's move to the 6th and last coin in our comparison to find out. And now, we've made it to the 6th and final coin in our comparison, a tiny coin with a big story. It's the 2006 Canadian 1-cent coin, also known as the Canadian penny. At first, it may not look like much, just a common copper-colored coin, but some believe this little piece could be worth a lot more than face value. Could it be true? Let's find out as we wrap up our coin journey. This coin comes from a country known for stunning nature, friendly people, and yes, some beautiful coin designs. The Canadian penny, especially from the early 2000s, is part of a legacy that sadly came to an end, because as of 2013, Canada stopped producing pennies altogether. That decision alone makes coins like this more collectible. Let's take a look at the design. On the obverse side, or front, you'll see the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, wearing her royal tiara. This version of the Queen's image was created by Susanna Blunt, and it was first introduced in 2003. What's interesting here is that unlike many other coin portraits of the Queen, this one does not show her wearing a crown, symbolizing a more modern and modest monarchy. Around the portrait are the words, Elizabeth II D.G. Regina, which means Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. Now flip the coin to the reverse, and you'll see a design that is simple but iconic, the maple leaf twig, with 2 detailed maple leaves branching from a single stem. It was designed by G.E. Kruger Gray, and has been a part of Canada's 1-cent coin since 1937. Below the maple leaves is the denomination 1 cent and the word Canada, with the date 2006 just beneath. Now, the question everyone's been asking, what is the 2006 Canadian 1-cent coin actually worth today? In terms of face value, it's just 1 cent. And because Canada stopped minting pennies in 2012, these coins are no longer used in cash transactions. However, that doesn't mean they're worthless. Many collectors are now actively gathering Canadian pennies, especially full date sets, as a way to preserve a piece of currency history. For the 2006 version, there were over 1.2 billion coins minted, so it is not considered rare. In circulated condition, the coin typically sells for around 1 cent to 5 cents USD. But if you happen to have a brilliant uncirculated BU coin or one taken from a mint set, shiny, flawless, and untouched, its value can rise to around 50 cents to $2, depending on the market. But here's where things get exciting: error coins. In rare cases, 2006 pennies have shown die cracks, double dies, or even missing elements in the design. There are also coins from this year with the Royal Canadian Mint logo, RCM mark, and others without it. Certain varieties or minting errors could raise the value significantly, sometimes to $5, $10, or even $50 if verified by experts. So while the 2006 Canadian penny may not be a gold mine on its own, it's still a piece of history, a symbol of a coin that no longer exists in circulation, but lives on in collections and memories. And just like that, we've reached the end of our 6-coin comparison. From vintage shillings to decimal pennies, and modern Canadian copper to British heptagons, we've explored the stories, designs, and real values behind coins people often overlook. Some are worth just a few cents, while others hold hidden surprises, but they all remind us that even the smallest coin can carry big history.